Alright, welcome to Fail Time Video 7, Attempt Goose Spawner number 2. In the last video, I think we wrote like 7 lines of code and it took an hour. We did not get far with the last attempt. I'm going to start the timer right fucking now. Why? Because I'm fucking sick of this and I just want this to be over. That's the honest reason why. Now let's go try to make a Godot project where we actually spawn sprites into the game and have them kind of like just go up the screen, and then once they go up so far, they get removed from the scene. So let's move over some of my text editors, and let's do this from the beginning. So I'm gonna go Windows E key right now to open up a new Explorer here. We're gonna go find Godot. So we're gonna go SREXE because that's where my exes are. And then we have a Godot folder. Inside of the Godot folder, we have the .NET version and the regular version. We're gonna use the regular version. We're gonna use Godot version 4.2 stable winx64.exe. Let's go open that. Let's go double click that motherfucker. All right. So now that we have this open, I like the fact that Godot works directly out of the box. You don't have to do any installer. You can just put it on a thumb drive or a portable hard drive. You can put it wherever the fuck you want it, and you can just fucking run it, and it's beautiful. I'm going to close this because now we have it open. It opened on the top monitor because my top monitor is my main monitor. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a new project. So I'm going to hit new here, and we're going to call this project_name. And we know it's going to be called Attempt Goose Spawner 002. Now, why am I putting project name at the beginning of this? Well, it's because I want to know that when I see this token, it's referring to the project name, and when I see another token that's just AGS002, it's probably referring to the actual scene file itself. We're going to do mobile. We're going to do no version control because it's going to be another repo inside of a repo. And let's go browse here. And we're going to go to the, it's not on the C drive, right? It's on my S drive. So in my S drive, we have a folder for Git repos somewhere. So actually, no, S drive, fake R drive. So here's the thing. I used to have a whole bunch of thumb drives that I would run programs off of and stuff. If you run a lot of programs and recording software off of a thumb drive, your thumb drive is only going to last like 6 months. And so the reason why it's S/R is because I used to have an R drive, which is a thumb drive, and R drive was for the repo drive, and S drive is for my streaming drive. So now it's streaming drive / fake repo drive. Anyways, in the Git repos, G for Git repo, we can find the businessman Dan folder, but that's not what we want. That's the game we're going to make. But for our studying, we have a folder called Godot Fail Time right here. We have one called Godot Study, but Godot Fail Time is the name of the series we're doing right now. So let's double click that. And inside of here, we have Attempt Goose Spawner 1. We need another folder for Attempt Goose Spawner number 2. So I'm going to go new folder here. And I'm going to go AGS_002 for Attempt Goose Spawner 2. I'm going to hit enter. And this is the folder we want. AGS002 in the Godot Fail Time folder. Let's select current. And all the settings look good, right? AGS002, AGS002, mobile, no version control. Let's create and edit it. Now, when you hit create and edit, it closes Godot and reopens it. And guess what? The monitor that you see right here, this is not my main monitor. My main monitor is the top monitor. You're looking at the bottom monitor, and so you can't see it starting up. Okay, but here it is. Now you might be wondering, well, why not switch which monitor is your main monitor? Well, it's because, hey, what if something pops up like a bash script or something, and it's exposing some type of information that I don't want exposed, right? So any kind of surprises, I want to be on a monitor that I'm not recording. So that's why I don't record on my main monitor. So anyways, we got these different scenes, 2D, 3D, script, asset lid. Let's go to 2D over here. Let's create a new 2D scene, and we're going to rename this. We're going to rename that to N2D for Node2D world. This is my world node here. And we're going to go Control-Alt-Shift-S. Oh, that doesn't work. How about Control-S? Does that work? That kind of works as a save as. I don't know why the fuck it puts an N underscore. We got to remove that fucking underscore so that the text scene node has the exact same name as this scene node right here, except it's all lowercase instead of all uppercase. Let's go save that. Okay, so now that we have this, we need to add another scene node for our sprite, and because we want to spawn like this goose sprite over and over again. So let's click this little tab right here, and we could add a 2D scene or a 3D scene or a user interface, or, you know, our root node could just be a fucking sprite, right? We don't have to like over encapsulate all this shit, right? Go other node, go find sprite 2D, right? Go find that motherfucking sprite 2D, right? Just a simple sprite 2D. Let's go create that. Let's go rename that. So I'm going to go rename this to N2D for Node 2D. Oh, no, not Node 2D, because it is a Sprite 2D. So S2D, and I'm going to call it Goose, right? Sprite 2D Goose. So now we need some type of image for this. So if we go all the way over here to the right, we see this little texture slot here that says empty. I'm going to click that, and I'm going to go to Quick Load. And inside of Quick Load, I don't see shit. All right. So we got to do something about that. So let's go Windows E key for a second. Let's go sr git fail Godot fail time. Let's go into our Godot fail time repo. We attempted the Goose spawner before, AGS1, and we had an assets folder for that, right? So I'm going to go steal this Goose. I'm going to go steal this Goose, and then what we're going to do is we're going to go in AGS2. We're going to go new folder, create an assets folder, just ASS for assets. And we're going to paste that Goose down in there. All right, let's close this. We don't need this no more. All right, so now, if we try to go and click this Sprite 2D node right here, the Sprite 2D node, and go to this empty slot right over here, and go to Quick Load, now we can see that asset Goose PNG thing. Let's go open that up. Right, there we go. We got a Goose. We got a Goose. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to save this scene, right? So let's go... Control S, I guess. And that's going to open up a save as. And let's just, yeah, let's save it right here. That's fine. s2dgoose.tscn. Let's go save it. Okay. So now we have two scenes. We got this Node 2D world. We got the Goose. And I want to go into my project settings here. And inside of application, right, this application tab, in configuration, no, not configuration, in run, there's this main scene thing right here. We want to make the main scene the world, right? So node2d world.tscn. Let's select that. Let's go hit open and hit close. Okay, so now Control Alt Shift S just to be paranoid. If I hit play, we should see a Goose in the upper left corner, right? Or actually, no, we don't see anything. I lied. We don't see anything because this is our scene, and our scene doesn't have any goosies in it. Okay, that's actually fine. That's actually fine. That's what I want. That's what I wanted. All right. So I'm going to go right-click on this, and I'm going to go attach script to the world. We're going to name it node2d_world.gd, GD for Godot script. Let's go hit create. And then we want to instantiate that Goose. And to instantiate the Goose, we need to create a var. And it's... I believe it's called a packed scene resource, I think. Oh, no, it's called a, yeah, packed scene resource, I think. Packed scene. Oh, okay, it's just packed scene. Okay. I'm gonna call it PSR for packed scene resource. And then it's a packed scene instance. Equals, and then the preload command, and then we need to add resources folder /assets /goose dot. Ooh, no, that's not correct at all. We don't want the PNG. We don't want the PNG. We want the Sprite 2D Goose, right? Because we're trying to instantiate that sprite, but that sprite is not just a sprite. It's like part of a scene. Because everything needs really, all these kind of like discrete, everything needs to be packed into different scenes. So scene is not really a good name, right? The Goose scene is more like a Goose prefab. Like, if you replace the word scene with prefab, I think a lot of this code would make more fucking sense. But anyways, that's not the word they use. Okay, so packed scene resource. So with this packed scene resource, inside of the ready function, why don't we go in the ready function, and we want to I believe all we have to do is go PSR dot instantiate, and then once we instantiate it, we need like a var. Is it a sprite 2D now? I think it is. So s2d goose equals, right, psr.instantiate, I think. And then we gotta go self.addChild s2d goose, right? I think that's what we gotta do. Identifier s2d goose not declared. Did I not spell that right? s2d. Okay. So why don't we go try that and see if we know what the fuck we're talking about, or if it's gonna blow up and everything. Oh, there we go. Okay. So we are what? We're 10 minutes in, and we're already to the point where we were in the last tutorial when we were like 1 hour and 10 minutes in. So we're making good progress this time. Okay. So we don't just want one goose. We want kind of like the goose to like right now with where it is. So you know what we should do? Inside of the goose itself. Oh shit, are we inside the goose script? No, we're not. No, we're not. Okay. So no matter which one of these tags are active, it doesn't change what's in here. Okay. So sprite 2D goose, right? In this sprite, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go click on this sprite, and I'm going to go attach a script to the goose. Attach a script. Sprite 2D goose .gd for Godot script. I'm going to go create this. And what I want to do is in the process function right here, I'm going to say offset dot x plus equal 1. I'm just going to add something to it like that, right? I'm just going to add something, right? And see if we can get it to move, right? Yeah, there it went. There it went. You saw it. You saw it? Okay. So we need something random, right? We need some type of randomization there. So I don't know what the exact randomization word is, but we need something to randomize that movement downward. I believe there's like a random range function. Rand range. Let's go rand f range. 0.0 to 1.0. Okay. And let's do that over here as well. Right? Random range, right? So it's still going to go diagonal, but it's going to go all squiggly diagonal, right? So let's go play that. See if we get some squiggly diagonal. Okay, that was less squiggly than I thought. Now, is offset an integer? Are we fucking up here because offset is an integer? Like, I don't actually know. Now, what we could do is we could look at this property here, and we see that this is in pixels, right? This offset is in pixels. Can we do like a 0.0, 0.1? Can we do 0.1 pixels? Is our subpixels allowed? Okay, it does look like subpixels are allowed. So let's put that back at 0. Let's watch that again and see if maybe, okay, it is a little bit wobbly. It is a little bit wobbly. Maybe we want to just go like, between 0.0 and 0.2 to make it like the maximum speed. Make it go a little bit slower, right? All right, good. Okay, cool. So now what I want to do is, if the goose goes too far, then we just remove the goose, right? So what I'm going to say is, if offset.x is greater than 512, or offset.y greater than 512, right? I don't care exactly what the bounds are. We just want to get something working here, right? So, Oh shit, yeah, this is Python syntax. Is it a colon and then an indentation? I honestly don't know. No colon needed. Oh, expected colon after if condition. And then right over here, what we're gonna do, let's get rid of this pass. We're gonna say, Q free self, right? So Q free self, and why doesn't it like that? 0. Oh, so it's like a method on itself, huh? Self.QFree. Is that what's going on there? Let's clean this up. All right, let's try that. So now if we go play it, right, it might vanish prematurely. I don't know where 512 is. Oh, there it went. All right, cool, cool, cool. All right, so now what we want to do is we want to go back into our Godot script for this thing here. And what we really want to do is have some type of timer variable. Time till countdown to Goose. So countdown to Goose spawn equals 0. And then in process right here, what we're going to do is we're going to go countdown to Goose spawn minus equal 1. You cannot do minus minus. This is not C code. You're not allowed to do that. So we're going to do minus equals 1 here. And then if countdown to Goose spawn is less than or equal to 0, then what we're going to do is we're going to do these two things right here. These things that we did earlier, we're going to do those things, right? But we're going to do them over here, right? Yeah. And then let's remove all this shit. We don't even fucking need that shit now, right? So now I'm going to guess that instantiate, add child, right? And then we don't really need the pass statement, do we? Okay, so if we have this right... Oh, one more thing. So it's like 60 frames per second. So let's do like 1 per second. I think it's 60 frames per second. Okay, so now we should see like barrage. Oh my god, that's way too many. Oh my god, too many. No, too many. Too many. 60 frames per second. Okay, countdown to Goose spawn plus equals 60. Okay, well, first of all, equals 60. And then 60 frames per second. So in 1 second, okay. Countdown to Goose spawn, process, minus equal 1. Okay, let's try that again. Is it still going to be like, how many frames per second is this going at? Like, what the fuck? Called every frame. Where is the frames per second? Like, how fast is this fucking going, right? How many fucking frames per second do we have right now? Like, anything over 60 is just, like, too much, right? Let's go in the project settings and just look around. Like, let's just look around. Let's take our time here. Rendering, environment, physics, common, editor, input devices, layer name, file system, navigation, configuration, Run. Input. Localization, autoload, shader globals, plugins. I do not know. Oh, here we go. Frames per second is right now at 30. The number of frames per second used for making animation curves to a series of points of linear. Okay, well that's not... Okay, so we want to know... We want to know the... configure Godot frames per second. Right, how do we configure the Godot frames per second, right? Configure Godot frames per second. I'm going to make this a shortcut. And yeah, where the fuck is that? Engine.timescale equals 0.5, 10 to 2 times slower. Okay, so this can alter all nodes. But how do we change it to like exactly 60 frames per second or 30? Yeah, I just want to lock... I want to lock the frame rate. I just want to lock the goddamn frame rate! Well, I guess that's the next thing we're gonna fucking study, isn't it? Yeah, I want it to run at a certain frame rate, right? Okay, so the physics process is 60 by default. Okay, interesting. So I thought that I was putting the code in the wrong place because, ooh, physics is special. But it sounds like... So this frame is not... So we want the physics update frame, right? Okay. So what is the physics update function? Okay. So the question is there a way to quickly find, like, the new method, right? We have process, but, physics update, how do we get that, right? Maybe that's why. Maybe it can't be just directly a sprite. Maybe it has to have another thing to it. Or is this physics process right here? Is that what I need? Is that the thing I need right there? So if we just rename this, let's comment this out, right? We just rename that to func physics process. And then is that correct? Expected, clear that. What the fuck is my warning? Warning. Oh, fuck you, and fuck you. Okay, so what if we try that? Do we get the Gooses to be like 1 per second now? Because it's 60 frames per second in Logic? Yeah, yeah! Okay, so now I actually kind of know the difference between the physics update versus like the normal update. Okay, yeah. So, okay, that's cool. That's good to know. That's actually good to know. But yeah, so hey, look, we're spawning some geese. We're spawning the geese. The geeses be spawning. And, they be disappearing, right? So what we want to eventually do is we want to have like a parallaxing background. We have the geese spawning. And you gotta dodge the geese, right? So, I feel like we have everything we need to have. I'm tired. I'm tired. Okay, let's go save this and get out of here. How about that? How about that? We did the thing. We did the thing that we wanted to do. We got it done. We got our little piece of code done. We're at 25 minutes. But I think I would call it a day. We accomplished what we wanted to accomplish. Now, I know that I said that I was gonna... We'll see. Maybe, you know, maybe I'll do some more studying, right? Because I do want to dedicate 2 hours a day. So maybe the next 30 minutes off stream or off recording, I will do more studying. Let's go save our project. Let's go Windows E key for a second. We'll go SR git Godot fail time and attempt Goose spawner 2. Let's go over here. And actually, let's go back. I don't know what I'm doing. Right-click, git bash here. We're going to have to start using GitLab rather than GitHub because now GitHub is like, oh, we're going to force you to use two-factor authentication. So we're going to go git add all of our files into this repo. And this is a public repo that you can use as well. So if you want to check out the source code, the repo is public. Git remote-v. Oh, I already got it on Bitbucket. Excellent. So I'm going to push to GitHub and Bitbucket. So I'm going to go git push. Oh, actually, we have to commit. Git commit-m success with Goose spawner attempt 002. Oh god, we forgot to close off the brackets. Control C. Okay. Git push git SSH master. That's going to go to the Git repo. And let's zoom in here for a second. Alright, git push git SSH master, and then telling us what happened. Clear. Git push, and I think I called this one GitLab. Oh no, I called it git remote-v git push git https because the GitLab is... Oh crap, that's Bitbucket. Okay. So we should probably create a repo for GitLab. So I looked at Git Kraken, I looked at Bitbucket, I also looked at GitLab. So I looked at 3 different things. And I think that GitLab is the best just because as I was trying to use it, it ended up being the most intuitive. So I think that GitLab is the one I'm going to go with. Oh, also, so this function here, I'm going to put this physics process in my notes. Okay, let's go make a GitLab repo really quick. So let's go www.gitlab.com. Let's make a GitLab repo so that we can push up our code to GitLab. So I need to go sign in here. And I'm going to go put this on my other monitor so you can't see what I'm typing. In case I accidentally show my password or something. Okay. Uh-huh. And I think that was... Yeah, there we go, there we go. And never saved my password. Okay, so now that we're logged into GitLab, this is where I am. And I see some... Let's go new project. Let's hit this new project button. And I'm going to go create blank project. I'm going to hit this create blank project here. And our project name is going to be the name of the repo, right? Godot fail time, right? And the namespace we're going to use, this was kind of confusing me. You don't have to create a project namespace. You can just use you don't have to use a group, right? Your project namespace could be your username itself. That was really confusing me because I'm like, oh, I have to name it kanji_coder because kanji coder for some reason was already taken for something else, and I was really fucking confused. That's why there's this group here, but this is the group I want to use. Because I want my GitLab URL to look pretty much identical to my GitHub URL, except one says GitHub and the other one says GitLab. All right, so Project Slug, Godot fail time? No, all capitals, motherfucker. I don't know why it's like, I type in all capitals here and it's like, oh, so you want your Project Slug to be all lowercase? No, motherfucker! Alright. I hate it that, like, no one uses caps lock, and so now you get, like, a warning on Windows when you have caps lock on. It's like, some people use that key, you fucking asshole. Alright, select deployment target. No deployment planned. It's gonna be a public repo. We're not going to initialize a README, and we're not going to click whatever the fuck that is. Let's go create this project. All right, cool. Godot fail time. Excellent. So we got this little code button right down here. Let's go code. And this is our HTTPS. Let's go grab the HTTPS, and we're going to copy it to our clipboard. And I'm going to put that in my notes as well. So Godot fail time repo HTTPS GitLab. Alright. And then I'm going to paste this in my notes so I can find it again. And now that I have this, we're going to go over to our terminal here. So this is our terminal, right? So let me go review how we did that, right? So we're inside of the Godot fail time repo, right? Right-click, git bash here. That opens up a terminal. We'll maximize that terminal. We'll go control mouse wheel to go in. Oh, do we even have to use control? Yes, we do. Control mouse wheel to mouse in here. And then I'm going to go git remote-v. So we have a remote that is on Bitbucket. We have a remote that is on GitHub. But we want another remote for GitLab. So let's go git remote add, and we'll call this remote GitLab. And then we'll right-click and paste the... That is not the full fucking thing. God fucking damn it. What the fuck? Okay. So let's go grab it from our notes, because we already put it in our notes. Now let's go right-click and paste. Okay, that's better. That's what I expected to be on my fucking clipboard. Let's go hit enter. Alright. So now, git remote-v, we see that we have GitLab, we got git HTTPS, which is to the Bitbucket, we got git SSH, which is to our GitHub. Alright. So, we're going to try to be using GitLab from now on, because I don't want to fucking deal with setting up two-factor authentication, right? I don't want to have it to the point where, oh, you lost your phone? Oh, you got a new phone number? Well, buddy, now you're locked out of all your accounts. Fuck you. I don't want that. I don't want this authenticator app nonsense either, so... And it could be like, oh, well, what if something bad happens to your repo because people hack you through social engineering? And it's like, well, I don't know. I got my local copy, I guess. I mean, that would be bad. That would be bad for sure. But I'm not that fucking worried about it, right? It's like, oh my god, what if when you go outside to the city you get hit by a fucking car? Maybe for some extra protection, you should wrap yourself up in bubble wrap. Maybe you should walk around the city in a goddamn hamster ball, right? Right? I mean, it happens to people. People get hit by cars and fucking die, so I guess you should be super paranoid, and you should walk around downtown in a fucking hamster ball, because some people get hacked. Okay. That sounds pretty absurd, right? Yeah, we're gonna say, oh, everyone go do two-factor authentication because some people are high-priority targets and get fucking cyber-attacked. That's fucking stupid. Anyways. Git push. GitLab. Alright. So I haven't set up an SSH key yet because I'm a lazy motherfucker. Let's go hit this sign in with your browser. And then once the browser magic happens in the forbidden browser, IE, Internet Explorer, always looking for a reason to make yourself fucking relevant. Fuck you, IE. Let's hit authorize. Look. Even if IE is useful sometimes, that doesn't make IE good, right? Like, to the people who say, like, okay, so you know that situation where, like, in dating, a guy will be like, hey, sexy, blah, 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 can I have your number? And then the girl's all like, no, creep, you can't have my number. And then the guy's all like, oh, you're fucking ugly anyways, bitch, right? So the guy wasn't really, you know, that good of a person or whatnot. And when they got rejected, they showed their true colors, right? Well, IE is kind of like that guy, right? And so to the people who think that IE is a good browser, then IE to them would be like a Chad that they never said no to, right? Oh, IE is so great. And then they think IE is so great because they never said no to IE. But if they did say no to IE, then they would realize that IE, Internet Explorer, Edge, or whatever, is actually a really fucking horrible person who always tries to violate your boundaries. But if you just think it's so useful and you always want it around, you don't realize your boundaries are being violated, right? So, like, if you had, like, a significant other and you just always wanted them around, then you wouldn't even know that you were having boundaries broken because you never tried to establish a boundary. Does that make sense? Does my weird-ass analogy to dating and Internet Explorer make sense, or am I fucking crazy? Don't answer that. All right, let's get the fuck out of here. Let's get the fuck out of here. We did our thing. We did our thing. We got a goddamn goose spawner. Let's fucking play that and get the fuck out of here. Look at our fucking beautiful goose spawner. Look at those gooses we're spawning. That's it. That's it. That's all, folks. We're fucking done. We made a goose spawner. Like, subscribe, follow. My name is Kanji Coder.